Engineering is not only the most difficult field to major in, but there are many different types of engineering degrees that you could get. And some fields are very similar to each other. So in this video, I would like to just break down what exactly mechanical engineering is and how it relates or is different from computer engineering. Hello, my name is Sarah. I am currently a computer engineer, and this channel goes over all things engineering, finance, and personal development. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Mechanical engineering is a highly versatile degree that brings together concepts from physics, mathematics, and material science to help understand how objects move and how systems function. In other words, they basically go and try to understand how the different components of a hardware work and how the materials that make up those components react to environmental factors such as different forces and temperatures. From these results, they model and design new materials and machines to improve the performance of the existing ones. That's the basic overall summary of mechanical engineering. In terms of difficulty, it is on the more harder side of the other engineering degrees. However, it is not in the top 3 or top 5. That's a basic short summary of mechanical engineering. Computer engineering, on the other hand, deals with the design and implementation of hardware with software. So they're the ones that make sure that the hardware is able to communicate with the software and vice versa. So that would include networking, low-level programming, and some software development. So in summary, it's a hybrid of both electrical engineering and computer science. People who major in computer engineering have the choice of focus in the hardware track, so closer to the electrical engineering, which involves low-level programming, or they could choose the software track, which is closer to computer science. So there might be more software development and less interaction with the hardware. In terms of which one is more difficult, it's relative. Both of them are difficult because they're both engineering degrees. However, mechanical engineering is more of a physical thing, and I think that in a way, it might be considered easier because the objects or the materials that are designed and developed can be modified if something were to go wrong. The tests could be used to further develop or improve an existing machine, and that's all tangible evidence, that's all tangible numbers and calculations. Whereas with computer engineers, yes, there is stuff that's tangible, like the hardware programming. However, there is the networking that is not as tangible. You have to think about it conceptually, understand what is going on within like a processor or a computer. You can't see what's going on, and the only way you'll be able to know or figure out what could be going on is studying and researching what exactly the program is supposed to do or what exactly that computer is supposed to do and making sure it's doing that. And if it's not, it makes it that much harder to figure out what the issue is. You can't just run some tests on it, especially if it's a programming thing, because the way it's understood could be different than what you're understanding it as, if that makes sense. Again, this is really hard to explain, but that's the main reason why I think mechanical engineering might be a bit easier than computer engineering. However, it is, again, relative. Some people might find that mechanical engineering is much more difficult than computer engineering and vice versa. It's up to the people who decide what they want to major in. Now, in terms of the demand from each degree, I do think mechanical engineering is more demanding than computer engineering, mainly because you have to physically be there in order to test the material, to study it or to design it or to make it. Whereas with computer engineers, you don't really have to physically be there. You could work remote if you would like. And for testing, that would probably involve some code snippet or unplugging of certain cables and replugging it back in, or doing some other analyses within the computer or within the hardware. However, if you are on the hardware track for computer engineers, then you would be doing more lab work because you're closer to like an electrical engineer. It's still not as demanding because you're not expected to create circuit boards like you would with electrical engineers. In summary, mechanical engineering, I think, might be easier to get the degree in versus computer engineering. However, I do think mechanical engineering is much more demanding than computer engineering. The actual work that you're doing requires you to be there physically 24/7 practically, whereas computer engineering is probably a 50-50. You don't really need to go there all the time. For each of the jobs that you could get for mechanical engineering, you can either be an application engineer, a design engineer, design maintenance engineer, equipment engineer, mechanical design engineer, process engineer, product engineer, project engineer, and test engineer. And then for computer engineering, you can have a career in artificial intelligence, heterogeneous systems design, high performance computing, simulation modeling, signal detection and estimation, software engineering, and wireless communications and networks. So that's just a short list of the different jobs you could get for each degree. So if you're someone who's interested more in the jobs that you could get as a mechanical engineer, then I'd suggest majoring in chemical engineering. If the jobs under computer engineering are more interesting, then major in computer engineering. If you don't know what any of these jobs entail, then I definitely suggest getting an internship in one that sounds like you would be interested in and shadow an engineer in that field so you can understand and see and learn what they do day to day. And so when it comes to the actual salary and prospects of each degree, right now, the mean salary of entry-level positions for mechanical engineers is $67,038. And then the mean salary for the average mechanical engineer is $100,820. And then for the top 10% earners, it's $151,000. Compare that with computer engineering, the mean entry-level job is $75,069 for computer hardware engineers and $70,115 for software developers. And then the mean salary for the average computer engineer is $140,830 for hardware engineers and then $132,930 for software developers. And then for the top 10% earners, it's $208,200 for computer hardware engineers and $198,100 for software developers. So right there, those numbers tell you that mechanical engineering in general do not get paid as much as computer engineers. However, they do get slightly more than the software developers. But again, if you major in computer engineering, you can decide whether or not you want to be a software developer or a computer hardware engineer. That's up to you. Overall, the differences are minor. You do get paid more at your first entry-level job for mechanical engineers. However, the top 10% earners don't get paid nearly as much as computer hardware engineers. So that's just something to consider. Again, it varies from company to company, so you just want to make sure that you're at least getting paid the market value, what you're worth at that point in time in the market. And in terms of future prospects, computer engineers are more likely to have more jobs lined up for them, mainly because they learn about AI, software development, and cybersecurity, which are all categories that are growing currently and will continue to grow in the future. Those are the main differences between mechanical engineering and computer engineering. I hope it helped you guys better understand what they are and what is all entailed in each degree. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any other video suggestions, please leave a comment down below. And yeah, if you'd like to see more videos, please feel free to subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.